is important.
We're revving up the engines, folks.
Yeah.
A pre-meeting before the show. So I said, like, let's get right to it before we just all that energy.
We waste all the good content.
Yeah, we want to go up. We want to keep on going up. So we're here. We're here. Darkness with a ginger hue. There's no gingers in the building, but we got Slang. We got Toks here. What is up going on, Slang Hugh? How's your day today?
So far, so good, man. I've been doing this morning workout thing before work. I usually used to be an after workout guy, after work workout guy. So I've been doing this thing. I like it. I do like it. I think I'm in the trend now. I don't know if I like it more or less because it's kind of because like I think me, you, and Poe talked about this before we started the last show. Mm-hmm. For me, it's just the amount of people in the gym. Yeah. I like empty gyms. Mm-hmm. So the time I go is almost the same in the day as it would be in the night in the amount of people. Yeah, kind of. So still a little bit more people, but it's not crazy like a midday workout.
I think I was watching Family Feud and they asked, hey, what's the most common or most ideal time people go to the gym? They said 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And you're right.
I could see that.
Like the best time for somebody, like I know even reading books and watching videos, they say if you can get up at 5 o'clock to work out, the rest of your day is like wow, because
I just seems like your fathom that, brother.
5, well, I get up for 5:30, so I even starting my alarm clock even half an hour earlier, and I'm getting up and like
just on voluntarily, not work-wise?
Just to train my body to see if I can do it and not feel whatever. Anyways, I haven't worked out yet in that time, but I'm like, okay. And I was finished everything I was done a half an hour early. So I'm sitting upstairs, just drinking my tea. I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No, it's a routine. Like everything. Again, like we were just talking about, it's preparation.
Yes.
So if you go to your bed early enough, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. For me, I was even that guy because I'm a night guy most times.
Yeah. I heard
the idea of waking up at 5 in the morning is ridiculous.
True.
That's crazy to me. But I'm also going to bed at like 1, 2 a.m.
Yeah, and that's me. And I was telling my girls, I said, I can't go to bed 9 o'clock. You might be exhausted at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I can't sit there because I'll be sitting there and say, yo, I'm wide awake. So what are you gonna do about it? You want to go on your computer? I said, no, I'm trying to be here with you right now. But I'm still wide awake. And I'll be wide awake until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't know how to stimulate my body for sleep, to get it ready for sleep that early.
Me neither. I don't know that either.
Yeah. I have to always use something.
There's a yes, I do, and I don't know. There's things I haven't tried that I think would work.
True.
So things like the whole no blue light for an hour before. Don't eat. Don't eat. I break all those rules.
But you're human. Like you can't. Those rules are for ideal circumstances.
Yes.
The 9 to 5s, the Monday to Fridays, maybe with the no kids.
And here's the thing, Tokes. Those 3 things that you just said, I've realized that for me, my life, I feel like I'm much more of the rat race if I'm working a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I feel more of a robot, lack of a better term, robot, slave, slave to the system, chain to the desk. I feel more like that guy if I'm doing the normal schedule. So as much as people, I always say, I work weekends. People, I hate working weekends. I like it because it doesn't make me feel normal.
Exactly. And that's why I love my schedule. 3 days on, 3 days off. That means every 3 days I have a long weekend. I can do whatever I want, when I want. And no one can say, and it doesn't repeat that. It's not the same Monday, Wednesday.
Yes.
It's different. So I'm like, I can do anything. I can plan something on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. And maybe 3 weeks from now, I can plan another weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right. And you can do things differently. Working out.
I don't like that much routine in my life.
Yeah. I mean, the routine is the routine, but the constant change in that routine, that keeps me fresh. That keeps me like interested in what's going on, because that Monday might not be the same Monday you're doing 2 weeks from now. So and you can go off and do whatever you want. If you wanted to go to the gym on this Monday or you wanted to go see a movie because perfect example. Guess who's flying in tonight, bro?
Oh yeah, man, like Finn.
Yeah. 7:30 show. He's putting on a show.
He's doing a show tonight. You going? You're gonna go to the show?
He told me. I said, you know what? I told my girl. I said, hey, I'm gonna go meet my buddy Finn. He's one of my originals on my podcast, and I've known him since how long? Yeah, and she even here. She goes, "Oh, are you taking somebody?" I'm like, "No,
what?
I don't even go out." You say you're not taking anybody? I'm not taking anybody. I'm like, okay. You know, like I was laughing. I'm like, you went flew by the points. I'm like,
yeah, she's focused. The
thing is, I don't go out. I don't go out. The last time,
maybe that's kind of understandable then.
Yeah, no, I get
it. But you gave her the reasoning, so
yes.
But it's understandable.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know why I need to give such a reason. Maybe that's me. I detail everything I say so people don't get. I'm very transparent, so I'm going to tell you everything that's going on. You might be too much, but it's enough for you to say, "Hey, this is what this person is going to do. This is where he's going to go." There's no reason for any type of speculations, right? I just try to cover my ass in everything I do. So that's why I said, hey, this person's coming here. I've known him from this time. I'm going here. I've never been there. Have you been there? No? Well, this is where I'm going to be. I believe that the time is at 9 when the show starts. The tickets are $15. I'll be there for maybe an hour just to represent. I don't have to even stay there for the night. Just to support. And I remember when he came out here the first time and we did a show, and the unorganization was ridiculous. Winnipeg is not the greatest for planning these things. Like for instance, I think it was who was the DJ that was coming up here? The Soca Prince. He was coming up here.
Okay, yeah.
He came up here, and then Dr. J came up here, and it was just unorganized. I mean, they finally got it through, but it was just unorganized. And I think because Winnipeg was trying to be something that they're not. They're not an entertainment hub, right? They don't have facilities.
At least not that type. Yeah, maybe.
Right. So I'm like, you know what? I've known now that that's not what I need to do or want to do because it's not presented in a way. However, I did find out from my girl that the Wu-Tang and Nas are coming through, and right away I checked out pre-sale. They're coming to you in May. They're coming to us in October. October 10th is.
Oh no, I think it is down there. Yeah, it's somewhere down there.
So I'm like,
Yeah, but those things are bigger. Things are different.
Yes, exactly. But I'm like, those are things that are once in a lifetime things. So I'm like, I'm going to ask you, do you go all out for a show like that, or do you just kind of pick up the $50 tickets and enjoy at the matinee level, or would you go floor seats or something like that? Because these guys won't be touring, forever.
Okay, so it's a yes and no answer. To your point, you're not going to see, this might be a once in a lifetime situation. So I would like to buy the closest seat I possibly could get. You know what
the closest seats cost right now?
Go ahead, because this is going to
$787.
So there's my second part of the answer. If I can't afford it, I'm not doing it. Oh, sorry. The best way to put it is I'm going to get the closest seat that I can afford.
Okay.
And it might be a little outside of what I could afford. So say I could afford $100 seat.
Right.
Because it's a once in a lifetime, I might go to $150.
Okay. That's reasonable. That's a reasonable.
$7 bills, bro. What are they doing? Coming home? They're coming to my house?
Those are the VIP selects. That's front row center. Front row center. Now, here's the thing for me. I don't know what's the difference between front row center and 25 seats back. And the difference in price is ridiculous.
There's probably not going to be a difference that you'd notice unless you actually sat in both seats.
Like, you're hearing
your
the same
experience
show,
is your experience. Yeah, but there is something to be said. Think of it this way: like you've been to a sports event. It's if you are closer to the field or closer to the court, your interaction should be different. Like you should feel more a part of it.
Okay.
The further away from it, the less involved you should feel. Does depend on personality, because there's a guy in the balcony that's probably going to be wilding out more than somebody in the front row.
And that's the thing. Some people, that's why I'm like, how come box seats are so expensive and you're
I don't never get that.
Everything. Like you're away from everything. Now, I know the luxury of having food there and drinks there and you don't have to go out. That's what you're paying for. I guess you're paying for the luxury and the convenience. I think you're watching the show on the freaking camera systems that they have, the TVs and the monitors. So I'm like, you could just go home and
just stay home and make wings.
Yeah.
For much cheaper. I don't get that.
People go out to like we just watched the Super Bowl. And people who do these Super Bowl parties and go out to the bar and spend a ton of money. When I'm like, I have a big screen TV. I went to Costco. I got some wings. I made some wings. Maybe I would order a pizza. I'm good. I don't have to pay you freaking $80.
Even going to the bar makes more sense than the box seat to me. The box seat, I really don't get. You're at a live event, but you're not at a live event. It doesn't make no sense.
Now, if you're splitting that box seat with a bunch of people and doing something different, okay.
Maybe.
But really and truly, you're there for the show. You could just be at home, listen to the same tunes in someone's garage, and you have the same experience. But whatever, it is what it is.
Off topic, but on topic. Well, let me say, a box seat is like one of those things that I would, if I was rich, I'd do it just for the experience, but I don't expect to do it many times.
But is it your experience though, or your people's? Because you're not going to do a box seat by yourself.
Well, that's part of the experience, being with the people. So it might that should add to it, and if it doesn't, this leads further to my point,
right?
In that it's not something I would do often. I tried first class flight seat once.
Never again.
It's a waste, man. It's a waste. Unless and again, this kind of leads to the same thing. Unless I'm flying overseas, maybe that's a much different thing when it's like a 16, 12-hour flight.
Okay.
But on a 4-hour flight to Florida, I could have sat in a normal seat. It wasn't necessary.
I've done, and with all honesty, I haven't done first class. However, I've done a coach or economy class flight to Nigeria with my brothers. It was a blast. Probably the best. Like the I guess flight attendant at the time. He was a gay man who was just he saw the family, so he said, "Oh, you guys are whatever." He said, "Anything you need, let me help you out. I'm here." I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "All right." So every time, but that's the thing is, like, he just stood out, and because he was so cool, he made our experience so cool. He said, "Yo, guys, there's seats in the back. You guys want to go stretch out and just chill?" I said,
nice.
All of us went to the back, feet out, just chilling. This guy was bringing us drinks, and then I'm like, "Yo, how was the experience?" And again, it's a coach economy seat. Now I don't know if you get the same vibe at first class, because I think the more further you get to these business class and whatever, you have to carry yourself a certain way. You have to be a certain way. I'm like,
I don't subscribe to those things at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't subscribe to those things.
And
I think that's what people buy into. Like that's the idea that they buy into, to be to feel better than the other people on the plane or whatever. I just think, mind you, again, it could be the airline I was on, could be the destination, it could be all of these things, but I don't see the point. My experience, I don't see the point.
I think the seller there is where you're going. So if you're going to like a longer flight, if you're going to Australia, they might treat you a bit different. Both economy class and the luxury class. You're going to the England, you're going to China. All these different places will have their certain way to treat you. You taking a first class trip from here to Florida,
whatever.
Yeah,
I do think it matters. The airline kind of matters, because it does depend on the level of the airline too, and what.
True.
But I agree with you. I think it's more about the distance.
Yeah. Now again,
I've seen beds and stuff in first class. These guys have lie down seat beds, but that's 12 hours flights. That's not 4 hours.
Yeah, very true. You know what? Actually, I would like to use that first class type of treatment on a train, because I heard that.
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, really?
First class? No, I haven't done first. Have I done
the
first
train
class?
I heard is a whole big suite. You're there with whoever, even if you're by yourself, you have your own suite, your own privacy. Lock yourself up and just drive. I thought that's.
But I much prefer a train, like mode of transportation, long distance. Plane is probably my least favorite.
I hate planes. I can't stand.
Yeah, it's just convenience. It's just the shortness of hours. But plane is the worst. Yeah, for me, I'd rather drive or take a train. And no. Bus is probably the worst.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've been on the bus for a very long time, but at the same time, it's just pretty much a mobile plane with those buses, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not really saving time on that, really.
And that's the problem. You're not even getting with the whole having to sit beside a stranger and all of this, not being comfortable in your seat. You still have to wait the hours, more hours than if you drove yourself or took a train.
Yeah. Again, it's time over convenience, I guess, or comfortability. I guess comfort.
Yeah,
time over comfort.
Yeah, comfort over convenience. Yeah, I think that's right.
You can get there quicker, but you're going to be paying X amount of dollars for that. Now, if you drove yourself, you have to take that time to get there and make sure it's done. But yeah, I mean,
but I prefer
plane. I can't. I don't like planes, but I'll do it. I'll do a train. I would love to do a train. A nice long distance train. That would be nice. I've done bus up to Northern Ontario and whatnot. And again, because of this, the bus is meant for jam packing a whole bunch of people to go. It's like cattle. They don't care.
Yeah.
The washroom is disgusting.
Oh my God.
The seats are not
None
comfortable.
of these things are not fun.
Yeah.
I'd much rather drive, bro.
I would rather just drive.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you guys going? Yeah, I'm going. And I think that's why they started these ride shares. There's a lot of people who do ride share. So you go on eBay or whatever, and they'll say, hey, I'm going to, is anybody going? Give you a couple bucks. Yeah, I'm going there. I got to go to work there. So come on in. Here's a couple of bucks for gas. And boom.
Doesn't feel safe, but that's interesting.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and that's why they converted that to like Uber and stuff like that. It's licensed. Yeah. Because rideshare was popular. I was down there. I saw ads for people going to Waterloo or whatever. Need a ride. And that's like, okay.
Modern day hitchhiking type vibe.
Pretty much. Yeah. They modernized and monetized hitchhiking. I'm like, wow, that is ridiculous.
Man. If it works, it works.
Business is business. The entrepreneur is the opportunity. That's a big time move.
Make a dollar. But yeah, what are we gonna get into today?
Well, we just finished Black History Month, right? And I didn't really see the pomp and circumstance of it this year. Maybe there's a lot of things going on. Mind you,
you mean what? Like
putting it out there.
Celebration?
Yeah. There's nothing really out there that was catching my eye that they were presenting in any type of country or any type of TV show or even any movies coming out.
They didn't play Roots again this year.
No, like the only thing that came out, I think, was the whole Wakanda Forever. And even that it's not even, that wasn't really a Black history type of thing.
That came way before, So
so it's already been done. They just put it on cinematic and whatnot. I'm like, okay, I watched it. Wasn't really big to me. It didn't really flash me, but
as the first one,
the first one was great. That was epic because again, it's all new and it's all Black and all that. But I mean, now it just seems like they were dragging things on, and I'm like, okay. I get it. I'll wait for the next few movies to come out to say, hey, this is what this is building up to. So that's another thing. But I noticed a great thing about Canada TV, they will represent well. What I mean that is, like, I went to CBC just for the news, and I saw things that you can watch. And their app, CBC Gem, they had a plethora of Black movies, documentaries, and stuff. Oh my gosh. I was like on my break at work, I would put it in. I watched the documentary of Muhammad Ali from and I know the story. Everybody knows the story. It was nice that I can just access this, and it's free. And I watched the whole thing today, and I'm like, wow. And then I started watching there's a documentary on Black comics and the whole build up and where they came from Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby, everybody. They're showing you, it's a 2-episode, documentary or docuseries that are both an hour and a half long. And it just breaks it down. I'm like, wow, this is on, and people won't know it. I think it was presented by Kevin Hart, and no one would know if you didn't see it. And there's a lot of stuff that's out there. There's a documentary of Africa. So there's one, I guess he's a Londoner who was Nigerian that suffered from polio. They moved him to the UK, and now he is documenting a travel from the western side of the continent all the way south, all the way east down south, and he's showing all these places that are just epic, right down to the palm tree plantations, the wars amongst tribes, the religious things. It is fascinating. And now I just realized, I realized this after I watched the movie I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's the Whitney Houston documentary. I just watched it. That is an epic movie, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it is epic.
Okay, I might check it.
So then I put my foot down and said, you know what? Black people's stories are so interesting.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has an interesting story.
No, I haven't seen any, and I'm not trying to, pick sides or anything, but the way they present Black stories, Malcolm X, the Whitney Houston story, any type of artist. I watched the Jackie Robinson documentary. Watched that on there too. Jackie Robinson's there. I just started watching The Race, and now I've watched The Race before with Jesse Owens.
The Race again, Jesse Owens. Okay,
all these have this whole.
Is that the one with the Canadian guy? Is it Canadian guy that does Jesse Owens?
I think
is
so.
that a documentary or it's a movie, right?
It's a movie. It's the movie. I think it's the Canadian guy.
Canadian youth. I think so.
I think so. Okay. I have to check it in. Yeah. But all these stories are so fascinating. Like you are glued to the screen watching it. But I don't see any of our counterparts with any great, outstanding documentaries. I watched the JFK movie. That was about his assassination. That wasn't about him. The new Elvis movie, I didn't watch that, but I heard again it's one of the same. Just him showing him gyrating his hips on a stage. The only one story that I watched that was just as good was the Johnny Cash documentary or movie with Joaquin Phoenix. That was epic. That was epic. But again, Johnny Cash was an epic guy. Like he was different. That's true. He was a standout guy at that time.
Yeah, so that's why guy. Stephen James.
It is? Yeah. See. And I just was fascinated that I guess Black people's stories seem to just go to big screen and just live up and just bring up some type of energy. And I'm like,
so I'm gonna go two ways of what you're saying. First thing is, I think it would have been good to have a man like Poe on here, but for myself anyway, I agree with you, but I think that's mostly because, maybe not mostly, but I think it's because it's relatable to us.
Yes,
we're seeing people that look like us on screen as heroes. Because I can tell you, I don't really watch movies or shows anymore that doesn't have a predominantly, maybe not even predominantly, but mostly predominantly Black cast, probably, okay. or at least multi-racial cultural cast. And right now I can't even think of a show that's like that I watch. But yeah, I don't tend to watch shows outside of if that's bad or good, I don't know. But I grew up watching everything. I grew up watching JFK and lack of a better example, Dukes of Hazzards and Knight Rider, but we didn't have a choice.
This is true.
That's all that was on TV mostly.
This is true.
We were mostly sidekicks.
This is true. And that is
or criminals.
And that's if you see the whole stand-up comedy thing, that's exactly what it's saying. They portrayed us as a certain way, and they kept on following until Richard Pryor changed the game. Yeah, sorry, not even Richard Pryor changed the game. Sorry, Bill Cosby changed the game, and he was funny, but it was wholesome funny. It was legitimately relatable. But then Richard tried to emulate him, but then he says, "Yo, that's not me. That's me doing someone else." He said, let me just be me. And everybody bid on that. It was crazy. Like, it's so, like I said, if you take the time to watch Gem, and it's a free membership or whatever you want, you watch some of this stuff, this is amazing. And it can enlighten you on what these people have gone through and what's out there. Right down to a funny UK comedy called Chewing Gum.
I've heard of it. With that girl from the Wakanda Forever, I forget her name.
Yeah, I'm like,
I've heard of it. I never checked it out though.
It's funny as hell.
Yeah,
but you would never know. I would never know. It's just
sorry. So my second. Sorry, I forgot I had a second. I think the other side of that, which can be considered a negative thing, is that we're great entertainers. We've been pigeonholed in that box. So we are gonna make overall better entertainment because we are pop culture. We are pop culture. Any aspect of pop culture you can think of, it's either created or influenced by Black culture. In this modern age, there is not one that you could think of. TikTok is filled with dances that we've created. And if we didn't create those dances, the trend started because we started it. The way people dress, the cool dressing, this hat turned to the back. Like all this, anything you can think of, it's us.
That was Ken Griffey Jr. who started that trend.
Whoever it is,
I remember he was there just shagging balls with the. Everybody's like, "What's going on? What's he doing?" And all of a sudden, everybody started doing it. Now that it's a thing.
Yeah, it's us. Hip hop is the most popular music. If it's not, then it's EDM. Both of them are us. We started both of them.
100%
right. We do get pigeonholed because of our greatness in those areas, or we don't get recognized for as much as the other areas, but we do make great entertainment. We are great entertainers. That is for sure.
Now, do you think, and this is maybe a touchy situation, but do you think people too much off of us when telling a story? For instance, the movie Ray, that was well done. One of my favorites. but it's a story that was just glorified to make money, right? Just to be put out there. People know the story, but it was put onto mainstream. Do you think, they knew that they was going to make the money? That's why they put it out there? A story like that?
Yeah. And that's usually indicative of how much the quality, like what the quality and the promotion of the movie is. You can usually tell, well, they thought this was going to make money because they wouldn't push it as much as they are. They wouldn't get certain stars involved as much as they do.
I agree.
Ray, I would think that they thought it was going to make money. I don't know if they thought it was going to be as big as it was, but I definitely think they thought they were going to make money. But yes, because we are, to answer your question, yes, because again, we are pigeonholed as the tap dancers of the world. They are going to use that talent to make money. However, if Cash was here, I think he would say something like, "Yeah, but he deserves that recognition. Like Ray Charles deserved, not any less than Elvis deserves a movie, not any less than Kiss."
Well, okay, let's touch on that. Why do we think Ray Charles deserves a movie?
Because he's a superstar.
In who's right though?
In the world, it was. Even if I don't say the world, it's definitely North America. Ray Charles was a superstar, definitely. And North America controls entertainment. So if we're making the movies, we're going to make it about our own heroes.
Because if I did not watch that movie, I would never know. Sorry, I knew who Ray Charles was. However, his epic life that he went through, I would never know. So that's what I'm saying. Who defines that this person's life is superstarish that we need to present it in a way? Who does he go and say?
One or two things happens there. You either have to be big enough that it doesn't matter if you had a crazy life, and if you're big enough, you're gonna have somewhat of a crazy life. Maybe not before stardom, but when you become a star, it's gonna go crazy. It's either that or not even or you have to be big enough for them to look at the rest of your story and say, yes, this is worth a movie. Both, in a way, both have to happen. They're not going to make a movie about me, about Slang U, because who the hell is, they don't even know me, right? So they have to know me. So I have to be big enough for them to know. And then it has to be, well, what's his story? Oh, he's from Brampton, at a relatively suburban upbringing. No real, nah. Let's do a story. Let's find somebody else.
So it has to pull you in.
Now, even if I am the same guy that I am, but I'm Jay-Z levels, they're still gonna make that movie and just add stuff to it. Like it might not be, because none of these are historically accurate stories. They're just gonna add some more entertainment in there. You watch, for example, do you watch BMF or?
Yeah, I've seen those shows. Yeah, Power in them.
Yeah. Show. Well, BMF is actually based on a true story, but
Sopranos too. Would you say that too?
Sopranos more based on a realistic scenario, but not necessarily a true. Because the people named in Sopranos aren't real live living people. It was based on somebody who is. Whereas BMF is they using the names of people who actually lived the story. But they still add entertainment to it.
It might not be the actual story, but to make it presentable that you will
close
have to
enough.
Watch.
You're right. Okay. It's close enough.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like if they made a story on our lives, me and your life, we wouldn't be doing a podcast. We'd probably have a hit radio morning show that plays for millions because that makes it more exciting. Or Wu-Tang, for example.
Yeah. So okay,
Wu-Tang show, they show Ray and Ghost are literally shooting at each other. But they both say that never happened.
It sells though, right?
It sells.
So what I guess artist or superstar are you waiting to see their movie done?
Bob Marley.
They haven't done one yet?
Not a biopic. They've done documentaries.
Okay.
Not a biopic where somebody else plays him.
Okay. So you want them to do a biopic?
Yeah, that's overdue, man. Beatles are overdue. Michael Jackson is overdue.
I heard they're working on it, but
Prince is overdue.
That MJ movie,
it should be crazy.
It has to be epic. Like if you don't do it right, and you're gonna get the thumbs down from a lot of people.
It's got to be as good as the Jacksons. Do you remember that?
Oh,
the miniseries.
That was epic too.
That was great, bro. It has to be as good as that.
Yeah, they have to go from the roots. From the roots. From Gary,
even a New Edition story, the Bobby Brown story. Those were all good.
Those are good. Those are really good. Short-lived series that were presented very well. I agree. So yeah, I mean, they have the potential and they have the artists out there. But then, I mean, I just don't want them to overkill it with extra stuff. Like when I watched that Whitney Houston story, like there's a lot of truth in there. There might be a little bit of fluff, but it was very, very captivating. It caught your attention, and it just kept on going and going. Now it only goes up to a certain point, and there's a lot of stuff they might have left out. I mean, you can always fill in the blanks based on what your
they have to. You can't.
Right.
You're 40 years old, 50 years old. They can't fit everything.
Like I watched the Bohemian Rhapsody with Freddie Mercury. That is another
Queen story. I never watched that one.
That is another good one. I haven't watched. Everybody told me it was too musical, too singy type of. Yeah, it was too singy, and didn't really represent him per se as the actor. As the actually character. The person. Right? So so I'm like, I don't want to. It just almost like a Dreamgirls. It was just all songs.
I like Dreamgirls though. I'm not a musical guy.
No, I loved it. I loved it. But
Dreamgirls is probably one of the only musicals I enjoyed. Probably. I'm not a musical person. I don't like musicals.
That was, again, based on, I think it was the actors shocking me that made it the way it was.
And that was relatively relatable.
Yeah.
What's another musical like that? Like all black cast that you can think of.
Yeah, it was very well done. And I don't know, did Eddie Murphy get an award for that? Because he should have.
He's nominated, but
I think he got a supporting actor of some sort in the guild or something.
I feel like he did. I think you're right. I feel like he did.
Because I think, to me, he stole the show. He stole the dream. Yeah. But and I don't even, really and truly, I don't even think that Beyonce should have even been in that movie. I mean, they were just going off hype. I think, because what's her face? Miss Hudson, she stole the show with the song. That one solo song she did, that was epic. Like when I was in the theater, I was watching the movie first time. And when she finished that song, the theater gave her a standing ovation in the theater.
Oh, yeah? That's dope.
She's not on stage like in front of us. Dope. We stood up and gave her. And I'm like, wow, that is serious. But and I honestly enjoyed that movie. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Let me give you my one gripe since we're on the Black history and entertainment movies and shows. Shows in particular, I don't know if you've noticed this, but almost every show, especially a high black cast show, there is this, and maybe it's on other shows, so I don't know, but there is this, the father is the dumbest guy or the worst personality or characteristics of the family. He's the one that we tend to is the villain of the family, and there's a son who is never listens to his parents or is always rebellious, and B, smarter than his parents.
Well, I can give you a show right now that does the exact same thing. That 70s show.
Yeah, they did do that. They did do that in that show.
But I think they did that. I think they did it on purpose, though.
They did it in Married with Children too, to a degree. Yes. But again, those are okay. There's a difference when they're comedies as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say
there is a difference there.
I was gonna say Good Times is another one that was just.
Nah, I don't think James was the man, bro. They didn't try to treat James like he was stupid. Like there were times they did the same thing to Cosby too. There are times where they move like he's being silly. Or out of doing too much.
Yes. Overdoing it.
Overdoing it, but not that he was constantly unaware or just everybody is smarter than him in the family. He's a doctor for God's sake, so he couldn't be too stupid.
Right, but at the same time, they portrayed him as a goofy guy that just didn't know how to take things serious.
At times. But they would definitely with Cosby, they would show his intelligence also at times.
Oh, for sure. He would
if not in a very great balance.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
you can say, again, that was a comedy. I'm finding on shows like Power, Tyreek, like BMF, Both Sons, like let me think, what other shows are there? Snowfall. Him and his mom and dad don't get along.
Okay.
What else is there?
So do you
almost
think
every show I watch, even on BMF, it's not only, even the cop son talks to him like, Dad, you don't understand me. You don't know what you're always trying to make me be different than bro. I get what we're trying to do here. I get, on one hand, there is an empowerment of listen to your children. I get that, because that is a necessary thing. But there seems to be a narrative being pushed where the men of the families are oblivious and ignorant. Like they really don't know how to handle their situations. It's always even in Wakanda. Even in Wakanda forever, who saves the day?
Yeah.
Who saves everything? It's all women. And I get it. It's a woman empowerment thing. But the dumbest, not even the dumbest, but the most insignificant character in Wakanda in that movie was the man.
Yeah.
My boy there, M'Baku. He was a comic relief.
Yeah.
Not only him, they even made the is it CIA or FBI? They made him somewhat buffoonish.
Yeah.
The woman was smart. His partner was smarter than him. Figured him out quickly. There seems to be and I do kind of get it, because the pendulum was a one way before, where the women were portrayed as stupid, and now swung over to the men are now the dumb ones.
So we're in an era where the now underappreciated woman is now, and we're going to portray
the over intelligent woman, the super intelligent woman, and the man is just the sidekick buffoon who learns from her insight and and life experience. She's much more together than them.
That's gonna make me look at a lot of shows now and movies now differently, because I remember, and I mean, this is not maybe it's along the same lines, but it's not. But I was watching the whole Endgame movie, the Marvel movie. I don't know if you watched it yet.
Yeah. And I was going to bring that up, actually.
The whole scene with the whole women movement, that whole probably 35 seconds. It was epic. It didn't need to be done, but it was still a woman movement in the middle of an epic movie. I'm like,
that's the reason why. Not even, I can't say the reason, but
that's
you're
another.
Not noticing, Marvel is moving. We need cash here, because cash will be living. They are moving into almost all women. Black Panther is a woman.
It is.
Not Superman. What's the other movie?
Iron Man. Iron Man's going to be turned into a woman.
Iron Man is a woman.
Yeah, Ironheart's coming in. Yeah. She-Hulk.
They have the Wasp. She-Hulk has replaced. Yeah. They made the Hulk the most powerful character in their universe into a soft man who cannot even control. Look how she's in the training. She already knows everything. Like, she doesn't need training to be the Hulk. She already knows. He struggled, but I don't. Yeah, what are you talking about? This, I could do this. I already know how to do this.
I've been doing this all my life. What do you mean? What are you teaching me?
He's only been the Hulk for 20 years. She just turned into the Hulk, but whatever. You remember she gave a speech.
Yeah.
Being a woman is what prepared me for this.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's a good thing for them to play on that, because that opens a door for a lot of people. They speak on how they've been treated. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that brings out this whole topic, but I mean, it's being put out there on a regular basis.
It's never good to, again, it wasn't good when the men were doing it, and it's never good when, actually I can't even say that, because the world's never been, I was going to say it's never been good when there's no equality, but there's never been equality. But when one group's whole thing is to kind of seek revenge on the other group, it's not any different than a street gang war. They're just going to keep going, because you got ahead here. Now the men start feeling a certain way, so we're going to start fighting back, and the pendulum's going to swing right back.
That also reminds me of another show or series, Peaky Blinders. That's the same thing. Like, it's always the shift in power. The battle is always continuing. It never ends.
Never gonna end.
It never ends. So yeah, I guess you're right there. I mean,
Bloods and Crips have been fighting for decades.
To the point, you know what? I was watching a series on. I don't know if it's a series, but maybe there was an episode of some type of show that was on about gang relations. We don't care about the colors anymore. You can wear your red, you can wear your blue. You just have to rep your set. Yeah. So
places like New York, Bloods fight Bloods. Crips fight Crips.
It's
doesn't matter
very
anymore.
Weird. It's kind of scary. It's kind of
in most places anyway. Maybe LA is a little different because that's the
Mecca. And here's the thing. I guess the Bloods and Crips. Although if we go back to the beginning, that's a holy war. The whole Bloods and Crips is a holy war.
Explain. What do you mean by holy war?
When in terms of the blue versus red, God versus the devil, that's really what it all came from. Now
I can see where you're coming from.
Right. So now my question is, we have Bloods and Crips pretty much all over North America, right? And you can go Canada and whatnot. But do they know of this whole thing? Say in China, is there a blood or a Crip in China or
not a
in
blood and a Crip,
Japan?
but there's a different version.
I know there's okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Like Yakuza in Japan.
So you're saying it's the same type of thing. They still have their battles there, only it's named something different.
There's no point. There's no race, culture, religion on this planet that I've known of that hasn't had somewhat of a gang in it. Italians had the mafia, Peaky Blinders, we just spoke of. Where we could keep going, but there's especially anywhere that there are poor people, there will be gangs because people will come together we have to fight this, or we have to fight to protect this, and anywhere there's poor people.
The Nigerians had the Boko Harams up in the north where they were just taking away the children and disappearing, or they're slaughtering cows or whatever because they don't have. So the
Tamil Tigers. It's not exclusive to us, but we get the light on it, of course, because again, it's almost a zoo-like mentality when it comes to stuff like that. Like our negativity gets the light because for the people in control of putting that narrative out there on TV and movies and news and it's again, it's a zoo thing. It's behind the glass, your TV glass. So if I keep it there, it's not real for my life. It's just entertainment, even though it's real for those people and those people going through it. If it's on TV and movies just for me, I never have to experience it. I never have to drive through certain neighborhoods or see certain things.
Right.
It's fantasy almost. Right. It's almost like going to the zoo is equipped for them. Going to the zoo is seeing gangs on TV and going into a gang-infested neighborhood to them is like going to the zoo, equated to going into an actual jungle. It's safe. Okay. It's the safest way to view this dangerous thing.
You're right. Instead of rather than going into the jungle to see the lions and tigers and bears, you can just see them in their cages, protected and so forth. Okay, that makes sense. I get that. It's crazy that it happens like that, how we have to put it like that, but
but that's truth. What it is, man.
It's the truth. It's the truth. That's what it is.
But it's a quick one today. Quick in and out, bank robber.
We are good to go for another one sometime soon. We'll see. We got to get these guys back on, see what's going on. Hey, shout out to Finn, who's gonna come out. I'll definitely tell you. Definitely hit him up. I did want to catch him before he got out here. Just to reminisce and stuff but maybe I'll catch him there. Maybe I do a quick 1-2 interview with him. Who knows?
How long is he there? Do you know?
Just for the night. He's always gonna do the show and then he's out like a light. So
man,
we'll see how it goes.
I'll show some support, bro.
Yeah, of course.
One day I gotta make it out there. One day, preferably somebody paying me to. And me big
Slang Beats. That's all over the place now. Slang Beats.
Somebody has to pay me to get out there. So.
There you go. That's what we're gonna do.
Indeed.
That's what we're gonna do. All right. But, anyways, we are in. We are out. Until next time. Peace and love, everyone. We out.